what you can do with the one that you just chose. And it really doesn't matter what it is. Usually the simplest one to create is a kind of a PDF report, but it can be a video, it can be an audio, it can be a short e-course, whatever works for you. I'll give you the topic for that, or the title, and from there everything becomes very, very easy. Okay? Here's the topic. Maybe I'll write it down for you, that you'll have it. It will be easier. The topic goes like that. The X mistakes, okay, the X mistakes that, and this is open, do when buying this, okay? So this stands for target audience. This is your target audience. And this stands for your product category, let's put it this way, your product category. So for example, the 7 mistakes that pregnant women make when they choose where to deliver their baby, or when they choose for water birth, or when they choose for yoga for pregnant women. Yeah? The 7 mistakes that pregnant women make when they buy whatever it is that pregnant women buy, that you're selling. Is that clear? Okay. 3 mistakes, 5 mistakes. The biggest mistake that overweight women makes when they're hiring a dietitian. Do you understand the template? Some of you are looking like, is it the time? Is it my English? It's a template with 3 parameters, 3 variables, 3 things that you can play with. The X is the number of mistakes that you're going to share with them, that you're going to teach them, that you can deliver in your report or in your video. The X mistakes, don't write it as X, write it a number. 7, 5, 3, 1, 27, whatever you want. The X mistake, or the X biggest mistake, the 7 biggest mistakes that your target audience, that in my case, that small business owners make when they choose a marketing course, when they hire a marketing consultant, when they're buying a time management system. Do you understand? Now, tell me something. If you are the target audience that is mentioning here, how much do you like making mistakes when you're going to buy something that you're planning to buy? How many of you love making mistakes? You're just going into the dealership, to car dealership, and looking to make a mistake when buying a car. Anybody looks for that? Not really, right? Okay. So this is why this topic, this type of a title works very, very well. Nobody likes to make mistakes. It's universal law as being humans. So if you tell them, listen, as a homeowner, as a pregnant woman, as a small business owner, you're going to buy this and this thing. Please make sure that you don't make those mistakes. People will want to know what the mistakes they might make. And by the way, it works business to business the same. There's 5 top mistakes HR manager make when they're hiring a change management consultant or whatever it's called, for example. Nobody wants to make mistakes. By the way, employees less than entrepreneurs, by the way. Okay? So if you're selling anything to in company, this works even better. For those of you that think that it's not going to work in a business to business. Okay? Nobody wants to make mistakes. So by putting them, first of all, you tell them that they might make mistakes. Ooh, then you brought a pain that can cause to them. You brought a risk for them. Then you tell them, here's the list of it. Get it now. And they will take it. They will want to take it from you. And they will look at you as a hero. Now, what you want to make sure is that the 7 mistakes is those mistakes that you're actually the best one to solve or to avoid. Right? So if let's take an example. 7 mistakes that small business owners do when when choosing a business course, because that's what we're selling, when choosing a business course. Now, first of all, it's a fantastic qualifier, right? Because if you're a small business owner, but you're not looking for a business course, will you be interested? Guys, will you be interested? No. And that's great. I don't want people here that are not interested in business course. Why would I give you something for free, which is just putting you on my mailing list and you'll never buy anything from me? I want those of you. You see how it qualifies? because I'm telling you when buying or when considering or whatever it is. When considering. Now, so you consider buying a course, and maybe you're considering to go for 2 years MBA, or you're considering to go to one of our competitors, or you're considering to buy something online. So I'm telling you, please be aware there's 7 mistakes that you don't want to make. Please read this report before you do that. So you're going to read the report, and I will explain you that, first of all, the first mistakes that people are doing, and I'm inventing that on the spot, and I'm tired, so excuse me for that, but okay? But the 7 mistakes that you make when buying or when considering a business course, well, first mistake that people are making is they think that MBA is the best education possible for business. Please be aware that MBA has nothing to do with entrepreneurship. It has nothing to do with growing a business. MBA is for those people that want to become managers in company and be an employee on a high position. If that's what you're interested, go ahead. But if you're looking to grow your own business or start your own business, then MBA is the last thing on your list. It takes 2 years, it costs a fortune, and it will never give you the result you want. So hey, mistake number 1. By that, I killed the competition of MBA, right? Naya Rode, poof, gone. If I do that convincing enough. Does that make sense? Now, it needs to be right and honest and with integrity. I'm not trying, you're not putting dirt on somebody just because, but you just make sure that you communicate the points in the right way. And then I'm going to tell you, well, if you want to do an online course, well, just be aware that the mistake that you might make with an online course is that you want to make sure that this online course is not just somebody dumping on you information that, that they never actually did. Most of the online courses that are available out there, which is true when it comes to business, are being done by people that never ran a business, except the business of selling that information. They never ran a real business in the real life, and they're just giving you theories or ideas, but that was never proven. So make sure that you pick up the right provider. And I can go on and on and on. And for me, it's very easy because I will tell you that, never, never, never buy a course about marketing from somebody that cannot prove you that he can fill up the room with 1,000 clients. It's right, isn't it? I mean, why would you go for somebody to teach you marketing when they cannot fill up a room of 6 people or they find it really hard? Do you know that those companies, those courses that they say 12 people maximum? You know what I'm talking about? You go for a, Schouten Nielsen and Schouten, what is it called? Schouten Nielsen and, all those companies. And I don't have anything against them. They're probably good people and everything. But they're putting on all the courses maximum 6 people, maximum 12 people. And they use it as an advantage, right? Because you can have a small group with, a trainer or a coach. But why do they put those numbers? Guys, please think for a moment. Because they cannot fill it up. If they could fill it up with 24 people, do you think that they would say to people no? If they could fill up with 150 people paying the same price, do you think that they say no to them? No, they wouldn't. But those companies can't. So they make it into an advantage. And that's something, by the way, you should learn from them. If that's something, if you have a limitation in your business, don't take it as a limitation, make it an advantage. Tell people, it's 12 people because you're going to get a trainer that is trainer of 12. Don't go to Nisanda because you're going to get a trainer with 1,500 people. You should use it as an advantage. But just be aware that when somebody is bringing a room which is pretty small, it's because they cannot bring more than that. They would be happy to bring more than that. Just understand, right? Okay, that makes sense. So I could use that as one of the reasons. So I can say, listen, don't go to anybody that can bring less than 1,000 people in every training. And that's it. I'm killing everybody. And that's it. You're having only one choice at the end of it. And I don't need... There is no sound? Can you still hear me? Maybe that died for me because I cannot hear myself anymore. Yeah? All right. So do you understand, guys? Your job is to give them the 7 mistakes that they might make. You want to make sure that you protect them. That's your job, to protect them from making mistakes. But make sure that the way that the mistakes you choose and that the way you communicate are pointing in one direction, and one direction only, and it's you. Is that clear? Guys, is that clear? So this is one way to do that, okay? So the 7 mistakes that home buyers do when choosing a real estate broker, or 5 mistakes that you should avoid when choosing a social media consultant, or whatever it is, okay? Now, then the other thing that you can do is the opposite. It's not necessarily the X mistakes, but you can put it as the X things. The X things you must know before considering or buying whatever it is. Okay? So the 7 things you must know before choosing a writing course or a publishing course. The 7 things you must know before buying a course. First of all is that you choose to learn from somebody that actually published successful books. I had this guy copying the Write Your Book in 28 Days with everything. I mean, he didn't copy the course because he'd never been to the course, but he copied everything in the promotion. And we found it out. He said it's instead of write a book in 28 days, he was saying write your book in 4 weeks. And he just created the whole text, was just basically one-on-one our text. So we kind of called him. I actually called him, and I talked to him, and it's a professor in the University of Groningen or something like that. And I said to him, you know, that's not really appropriate the way you do that. You know, you want to sell your course, I'm very, very happy for you, but, you know, copying the sales pages and everything. So we got into talking. It wasn't a big deal, but we got into talking. And at one point I asked him, so tell me, you know, how is it, the course going? He says, man, it's okay, you know, I'm filling up every time, 10, 15 people. I want to grow it now. And he says, that sounds great. And, you know, how many books did you publish? And he says, no, I don't publish books, I'm teaching. And I said, but you're teaching how to write and publish a book, right? And he says, yes. And he says, but you never published your own book? And he says, no, I'm just teaching it. I'm teaching it for 25 years. He was so proud. I'm teaching this course for 25 years in the university, and I had hundreds of students that are learning from me. And, you know, but many people are doing it. You know, I don't get that. Why would you go to learn about publishing a book from an author, from somebody that is not an author and never published a book? Why? Okay, now I will make this story into one of the points what you must know before buying a course about writing a book. Now, you know, I'm not the only one that published a book, but I'm one of the only ones that actually published books that Vered wanted me to correct that, you know, not to correct, but just to make sure. I didn't publish 75 physical books, but we made our passive income in the old days when we became financially free through ebooks. That's how we made them. So an ebook and a book is just, the difference is just if you went through printed pages or not. The same process, what we're teaching you in the course of Write Your Book, I was using for writing those ebooks. Yeah? So just for those of you that are waiting, that are looking to go to Amazon and see 75 books under my name, you won't find. By the way, you won't find the ebooks also under my name at all, because I didn't write them under my name, most of them. A few of them, yes, but not all of them. I didn't want to, but it's not the point. The point I'm trying to say is that by saying that, then I'm directing people to choose the right person, and the right person is me, or in your case, you. Are we clear? Yes. All right, so what I want you to do is to take a minute right now and create your new incentive. Whatever it is that you're going to offer them. You can go to the first template, you can go to the second template, you can invent your own template. Another one that I like to do a lot is X thing you must ask a service provider, whatever it is the service that you're doing, before you hire him. So the 7 questions you need to ask a doctor before doing a plastic surgery, for example. Okay, the X thing you need to ask a car dealer before you buy a car from them. X thing you need to ask a personal trainer before you hire them. This is very, very powerful for service providers, because you explain what question to ask and you make sure that you're the only one or one of the best ones to answer those questions in the most favorable way. Is it clear?